So very good afternoon one and all. So in this class, I'm going to discuss about how to use image processing on AWS. In particular, I wanted to show you recognition service on AWS, which can identify faces and which can predict the emotion on the face, or which can talk about gender classification or emotion classification on the face. And also, I wanted to show you how to classify objects on AWS using deep learning or algorithms and all. So this class will take at least 40 minutes. Okay, this is a last class, which is like add-on class and along with IoT, because face recognition here and there will be used in IoT applications, in order to secure the devices and all. And also visual recognition sometimes will help you out in building some project related to IoT as well. So here let me show you how to handle image processing techniques on AWS. So I'll share this notepad as well, because from the last 5-6 classes I'm writing the same thing on the same notepad. So yesterday we have discussed about AWS IoT core and all. So, and that was also one of the important topic in this FTP program. And today we are going to talk about two case studies. The case study one is like providing security to the device through face recognition. And the second case study is identifying objects from the image through visual recognition. So this is the second case study which I'm going to show you. Okay, so face recognition. In face recognition, we'll be able to detect face. Okay, we'll be able to detect face, and we will be able to compare face. Okay, so I'll take you in detail how to do this face recognition on AWS. And the second case study will be doing identifying objects from the image through visual recognition. Okay, so let's jump into aws.amazon.com. Jump into aws.amazon.com. Let's log in. So in this IoT FTP program, we have used this kind of services on AWS. We have used simple notification service SNS yesterday, and we have used IoT core also. So we have used CloudWatch in order to identify the debug log, and we have used Lambda and EC2. Lambda we have used in Alexa, and EC2 we have used MongoDB for storing data and all. So in addition to this, today we are going to use two services from AWS. One is IAM service. Second service is recognition service. So this IAM is like identity and access management. And recognition is a service to identify visual recognition or face recognition and all. Okay, so here we are using two different services from AWS. One is IAM, identity and access management, and also we are using a new service called recognition. So these are the two new services that we are using today from AWS in order to do the case studies. The case study one is providing security device through face recognition, and case study two is identifying objects from the image through visual recognition. Okay, so let's jump into a service. Let's jump into a service called IAM, identity and access management. So this is important for us to access the API through Python scripts. Okay, IAM. So you need to click on IAM. Identity and access management console will open. So you need to log in into you need to log in into aws.amazon.com, and from Amazon AWS management console, you need to pick up a service called IAM. So IAM is nothing but identity and access management. And through this identity and access management, we need to access a service, okay, through Python script. So we need to create a user, which is a programmatical user. We need to give a programmatical permission for the user to access the service of recognition through Python script. So we need to select identity and access management from service. You need to select IAM service. Okay, you need to select IAM. So this by using this service, we can able to create a user. Okay, so let's create an user so that to provide an access to the recognition service to program. So let's click on users. So when you click on users, when you're a beginner in AWS, you cannot able to find any username. But here you can able to see a lot of users who have registered in my AWS console. Okay, each user will have access for one particular service. Okay, based on the application context. So let us create an user. Let us create a user. Let us add a user. So you'll have add user button here. So when you click on add user button, it will ask you to enter the user name. Okay, so I'll let IoT FTP1 username. So it will ask you to enter the username. You need to click on add user button. So when you click on add user button, you'll get this page to add user. So the username is IoT FTP1. So here access type is programmatic access. Okay, we need to give programmatic access because we wanted to identify face where face recognition has to be done through Python script. Okay, so the access type should be programmatic access. So when you click on programmatic access, then only the AWS API can be accessed through program. Okay, can be accessed through program. That we wanted to show you the programmatic access. Till date in this FTP, we have not used programmatic access. Okay, and today we are using programmatic access. So we wanted to tell you that there is also one option like programmatic access, which is required to program, which is used to call APIs of AWS through a simple Python script, which are like development tools. Okay, so let's click on next permissions. So when you click on next permissions here, you need to give permissions for user based on the application context. Okay, so as of now, you need to give permissions, for recognition service. So you need to click on attach existing policies directly. So yesterday also we have used a different policies in AWS IoT Core, right? So here also you have to attach the existing policy. You need to search for a service called recognition. You have to search for a service called recognition. You have to select Amazon Recognition Full Access. You need to select Amazon Recognition Full Access. So when you select Amazon Recognition Full Access, you can able to access the APIs of Amazon Recognition through Python script. So total permission policies in Amazon Recognition will be 18. Okay, you'll have 18 different types of function calls there. So you can access all 18 function calls through this permission, which is Amazon Recognition Full Access. You need to type recognition REK. So here in AWS, recognition is spelled as REK. Okay, not REC. And sometimes people search for REC, you don't get anything there. But REK recognition. The recognition is a service on AWS which is used to identify the images. Okay, so you need to select Amazon Recognition Full Access, and you have to click on next. So no need to create a new key, it will be generated automatically in the next option. You have to click on next. So here it is displaying the username, what we have created now, and the access type is programmatic access with an access key. Permission boundary, region boundary is not set, that is fine, we can access anywhere. So policies, coming to policies, we have selected a policy called Amazon Recognition Full Access. So when you click on create, now we can able to create a user. When you click on create user, it will be generating some access key and some secret access key. So yeah, it has generated what is the access key and what is a secret access key. So this is a secret access key, and you'll be having access key here. And by using this as access key and secret access key, we can able to access the service of Amazon Recognition by using this user. Okay, let us download the credentials. Okay, you'll have download CSV. So when you download CSV, then the credentials will be downloaded into CSV file. Because once you click on close button, you cannot retrieve secret access key again and again. Okay, if you forget to copy the secret access key, you cannot see that again. Okay, that is why the better option is to download the CSV. So when you download CSV, all these details, access key, username, secret access key, everything will be downloaded, and so that for later purposes we can access the file. Okay, so let's click on close. So when you click on close, the user is created with the programmatic access and with permissions like AWS recognition full access policies attached. Access key is generated and secret access key is also generated, and our credentials have been downloaded, and we have to click on close. So when you click on close, the user is created now. We can able to access the recognition by using this credentials. So I'll repeat the process once again. Okay, so today our topic is like, uh, we wanted to show you the process of image analysis. Okay, so something like, providing security to the device through face recognition, and also we wanted to identify the object. Say if you show a chair image to the visual classifier, so visual recognition technique, then it should say that, the chair was predicted in the image. So which means that image analysis we wanted to show you in the case study 2. In the case study 1, we wanted to show you the face recognition process, how face recognition will happen on AWS, something like detecting face and comparing face. So to demonstrate these two case studies, we are using IAM service, which is like, creating a user uh, through program so that they can access recognition service on AWS. So recognition is a service on AWS which is used to visualize the images. Okay, visualize the visual content like something like images or video analytics. So image analysis and video analytics will comes under a service called recognition on AWS. If you know how to classify or visualize the image, you can easily do video analysis also, because video analysis is all about comparing image by image. So these are the two services which we use today, which are new services, because in this 13 days FDP program we have not used this service called IAM service and this service called recognition. So here you can log in into aws.amazon.com, and in services you can click, in services you need to click on IAM. So IAM is nothing but identity and access management, and you need to opt this service IAM. So this IAM service is used to, create users. It is used to create users. Okay, here users has to be created, to give a programmatic access, so that, for one particular service which is allocated to the user, and they will be accessing the service through a programmatic access, using some secret access key and access key. So all these details have been downloaded here. The credentials have been downloaded here. We need to attach a policy as yesterday. So yesterday also we have attached a policy for AWS IoT core, right? Something like, if you remember that, the permissions taken are IoT colon star and ARNS star, which means that any topic, from any topic you can able to receive data and all. And here also we have taken a policy for users. We have created a user called IoT FDP1, and the permission policy which we took is Amazon recognition full access. This policy has to be attached so that, the users can able to, this user can able to IoT FDP1 can be able to access Amazon recognition full access API from Python script. And so talking about security credentials, and we have created an access key, secret access key. You cannot retrieve it again and again, so it is hidden. It is a secret key. So that is why we have downloaded the credentials here into a CSV file. And from the CSV file we can open it, and we can copy the credentials wherever it is needed. Now second service is called recognition service. Second service is called recognition service. Recognition, you can able to see the brief here, which is search and analyze images. So that is what we are talking about. We wanted to show you, how any images are analyzed. Okay, how the values are protected there. So let's click on recognition service. So this topic will take at least 30-45 minutes. Okay, so the Amazon recognition, this is a service available for deep learning, and also visual analysis, video analysis, image analysis. That can be done very easily by using this Amazon recognition API. For example, say let's look into facial analysis. Okay, let's click on facial analysis. So if you look at this particular image, which is given to the Amazon recognition service, and it is trying to identify, you can see the probability ratio, predictive ratio here. It is trying to say that the image here, which is looking like a face, okay, 99.9% appears to be a female, which means that it is telling that the gender has been classified, age range, where it is showing that it is the user in this image, okay, the female in this image can have an image, can have an age of 17 to 29 years old, and the emotion of the face is smiling, 91.7% appears to be happy, and wearing glasses, it is also predicting the she's wearing the glasses of 99.8% there. So which means that it is analyzing all the image content, the visual content which is given, okay, and it is able to identify the gender, it is able to identify the age, it is able to identify the emotion, okay, it is able to identify what she's wearing there. So when you look at this second sample image, you can able to see here. So it is just analyzing the data, what is there in that image. So it is saying that it looks like a face, there are three face images here. You can able to see the dots also, right, which is able to access, identify eyes, nose and mouth there. Looks like face, 99.9% probability is there, appears to be male, 99.4, and age range, so it is 22 to 34 years old, smiling, appears to be happy, not wearing glasses. So it means that all the data which is sent to AWS recognition service is able to identify what is there and all, right? So this is facial analysis, and in the similar way you'll have face comparison also. It can compare, two different faces or two similar faces there. You can able to see. So on the left side there is a reference image. On the right side there is a target image, and it is able to identify it is able to identify how many faces are there, and it is comparing with each and every face which is there in that image. Okay. So all this process will happen directly by using API. No need to write any algorithm here, because algorithms are written in the backend of AWS recognition service. Using simple API, we can able to achieve the process of understanding what can be the age, or what can be the gender, or what can be the emotion, whether faces are matched or not. By using the API, you can easily able to identify even objects also. So you can able to see the predictive ratio there. Automobile is 98.8% from the image, and the image is pushed, and it is saying that this is car, okay, this is car, and this is person, and this is skateboard, and this is wheel and all. So this is nothing but object analysis has been showing here. So when you fetch this image to the Amazon recognition and this particular object and scene detection API, it is able to understand what is there in that image by using the deep learning techniques here. So Amazon AWS recognition will always follows ANN, which is artificial neural network concepts, on the back end of the AWS recognition service, and they have given us an API. Using that API, we can able to achieve all this out. In the similar way, text and image, okay, it is able to identify what is the text there and all. So you need to understand which API you need to call, all this. If you understand that, you can have the request and response here, what kind of request you need to do and what kind of response, okay, it is printing there. And if you look at this particular image, the detected text, you can see that detected text has its type line ID 0, confidence 99.91%. It is saying that it is fits. And what is the boundary box? Boundary box in the sense the box has been drawn around its, right. So that is called boundary box, bounding box here. And that bounding box is having dimension like width, height, left, top, and all. So all this is the result of the the API which has been called. So today, so like this, you'll have face comparison, you'll have celebrity recognition. Okay, if you choose a sample image, it is able to identify, who's the celebrity there. Okay. So image moderation is also there. Okay, you can blur, you can do whatever. Okay, so let's understand the API docs. Okay, API of recognition, peer recognition on AWS. So this is the documentation reference of AWS. Okay, so there are some different function calls like compare faces, create collection, delete faces. So these are called APIs. Okay, so let's check compare faces. Okay, so when you look at compare faces, so the function name here, it is called compare faces. Actually, so yeah, AWS SDK for Python. There are SDKs available for Python, for Python, Java, PHP, and all. So we'll have different types of SDKs available there. So this is the SDK page for Python. So here you can able to see you need to import Boto3 package, and you need to create a client object, and then you have to click on compare underscore faces. Compare underscore faces is the in function call here. So you need to pass some arguments. So you need to pass some target image and source image. You need to pass source image, target image, okay, and similarity threshold. You need to send some floating point value, okay, which is a threshold value that some 60% or 70% based on that. And the quality filter, if there is any blurred or no, you can able to restore the image there. So you need to pass some certain parameters, then immediately it will respond with the response syntax like what is the source image face, and what is the body box dimensions, what is the confidence of the face, and if there is any, if face is matched, then immediately it will display the similarity value, similarity index there. If the face are unmatched, then it will display that the face are unmatched. So this is the response result coming out of this. Okay, so let's write a simple program to do this. So like this, you'll have different types of function calls. You can go through the documentation. Okay, I'll reference this link as well. Okay, and the video which we are recording now. Simple, you can search for API reference of recognition in Google. You can able to get this website. Okay. So let's jump into the hands-on. So let us create a folder. So let us create a folder. So let's write face, something like face. Okay, you can put any name. Just I'm creating a folder here with name face. So into this face folder, I wanted to store some face images. Okay, which I wanted to compare. So let's say, let's take Narendra Modi ji image. Images on Google.com. Let us take some sample images. Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister. So let's take some sample images. Narendra Modi. Okay. So let's save image. The main point is like the images should be either JPG or PNG only. Okay. So let's save an a folder called face. So let's write it as modi1.jpg. In a similar way, let's take another image. ODG. can have any kind of image. Okay, make sure that your the face is clear. Okay, I'll type modi 2.jpg. Okay, so modi 1.jpg and modi 2.jpg. uh, Next, so here modi 1.jpg and modi 2.jpg are like images, right? They belongs to same face, right? So let's take a different face, something like from. So let's take Trump face into the same folder, or you can take your own face. Okay, so let's save this image. Or this one jpg. Okay. Let's take jpg image. Okay, so Trump one. Okay, so here I took three images for comparison. One is modi 1.jpg, which is of another modi g image. Modi 2.jpg, which is of another modi g image, and Trump 1.jpg, which is Trump image. Okay, the replacement of use. And all these three images have been stored in the folder. They are all stored in the folder here. Okay. So here the face when you look at face comparison, the modi when you give modi one and modi two, it should say that the faces have been matched and they have been identified. But when you pass modi one with Trump one, so there is no face match, right? Because Trump face and modi face is different. So here the input images can be modi one .jpg, which is like or Trump .jpg. Then output should be like output should be they are mismatched, right? Or you can say unmatched. So if the input images are like modi 1.jpg and modi 2.jpg, the output should be like matched. Okay, so here when you look at input images, one image will be reference image. Okay, the other image will be the targeted image. Okay, so the reference image is modi 1.jpg here, and target image is Trump.jpg. So when I compare them using compare underscore faces API for AWS recognition, so the output should be unmatched. So here when you pass the reference images, modi 1.jpg and targeted image as modi 2.jpg, then it should say that the output is matched. Okay, so this is what you need to achieve when we call a program through the API. So the API is compare underscore faces, right? So let's do that. So I'm using PowerShell. So yesterday also we have used the same shell, right? So let's jump into the folder face, which is created now. CD space face. So when you type DAR enter, so it is showing the three faces images: modi 1.jpg, modi 2.jpg, Trump 1.jpg. So let us install a library called pip install matlock. So let us install this library here on PowerShell. So pip install matlock is nothing but matlock library will be downloaded, and using this matlock library, we are able to solve this case studies. Okay, so matlock is installed. So let's jump into the program. So let us create a file, notepad space, say case1.py, or you can say face, okay, case study .py, notepad space face underscore case underscore study.py. You can put any name, right? You can put simple modi.py now. So I'm just writing just a I'm putting here the name of the file as space underscore case underscore study. So here let us import the library from space matplotlib space import space star. So this is the library which we have installed, and this is the library which we have imported here. And then the API t equal to face underscore recognition, which is REG. So this face underscore REG is a built-in function in Matplotlib, which is calling compare underscore faces API. So here you need to pass the keyword arguments. So keyword arguments is nothing but one keyword argument is region, and which region your AWS is deployed. And second one is what is the access ID. So what is your access ID of the user. And next one is secret access key. So a secret access key will also be generated while generating user, right? And next one is what is the source image, that what is the source image, what is the reference image in the sense. Source image in the sense, what is the reference image, and what is the target image that you want to access. Okay, so here you need to pass certain keyword arguments here. One is region, so which region, in which region your data, your AWS recognition is deployed. Second, what is the access ID, because access ID and secret access key are generated while creating user. So you need to identify what is your access ID. It is there in that CSV file, right? So we need to copy paste here. And what is the source image? So source image, let us try to compare the first case where Modi1.jpg with Trump1.jpg. Okay, so let's compare the first case, which is Modi1.jpg with Trump1.jpg. Okay, so instead of region, so let's jump into AWS recognition. Let's identify what is the region there. So recognition. So in the recognition, this is the recognition page, right? So we are in the Amazon recognition. In Amazon recognition, you can able to identify what is the region here. The region is EU-West-1. So if your data center is Ireland, obviously you will have this region as EU-West-1. So this is a data center region. So when you look at, when you put Ireland, obviously you will get the same data center region. So let's copy paste the data center region into region. Access ID. So this access ID and secret access key will be there in the CSV file which is generated here. So let's open that CSV file. So in the CSV file, we can able to see the access ID and secret access key. So let's copy them. So access key ID. So this is the access ID. This is the access ID. So let's copy the access ID. Okay, and let us paste here in access ID. So this is the access ID and secret access key. So this is the secret access key. So let's copy it and let's paste in the notepad. Okay, so beside it you'll have secret access key. So let's paste in double quotation what is a secret access key. Okay, so what is a secret access key? So we have copied what is a secret access key, what is the source image, and what is the target image. So let's print the value of t, print of t. Let's save the file. Let's save the file. So let us execute the program. Python space face underscore case underscore study.py. Let's check whether Python 3 is available or not. So this runs in Python 3. Okay, let me check whether Python 3 is available. 3 is available. So we need Python 3. We don't get any error because the library is developed in Python 3. Because Python 2 it is no longer available from January 2020. So here also Python 3 is not. Python 3 is there. So let's run through command Anaconda prompt. Okay, cd space desktop, cd space base. So here let us install a library called pip install matplotlib. So make sure that you have Python 3 on your laptop. Okay, you can easily download and install Python 3. I'll show you how to download and install Python 3. So you can click on python.org downloads. Okay. So python.org/downloads. In downloads, you can click on downloads. Here it is, download Python 3.8.2. You can click on this, immediately setup file will be downloaded and you can install it. Okay. So here Python 3 is available on my Anaconda farm. So here let me run the program Python space case underscore study.py. So now let us see what we will get. So it is saying that face not detected, invalid image, and you're getting a return value called 0. You're getting a return value called 0 because the given source image is modi1.jpg. The given source image is modi1.jpg and Trump images, the targeted image is Trump1.jpg. So let us give the target image as modi2.jpg. Let us identify what it is, what it gets prints there. So let's run the program again. Let us create one more file, subject detection.py. So let us call the function module name from Matplotlib's import star. Equal to, say, some variable equal to object underscore detect. So this is the function which is used to identify the objects on the image. So let's copy. Let me identify whether we are able to print person identified in the face or not. Let's target image. Okay. For identifying object, the input image should be only one, which is target image equal to trumpon.jpg. Let us print the value of t. Let us identify whether it can predict face in the image or not. Python space or object object from image. So it is saying accessories, accessory, tie, suit, apparel, human 99.27, person 99.27, crowd 99.27. So let's pass the target image as modi1.jpg. So let's identify what is identifying there in the image. Human as 99.71. Okay. So let's check for modi2 what it is identifying. Okay. See, if you observe the the three outputs. For Modi one image, it is showing human as 99.7%. Okay, and as a primary value. For Modi2.jpg also it is showing human as 99.9. But for Trump.jpg it is not showing human as primary. It is showing accessories as a primary. So that is the error. So let us download one more image. Okay. So it is not able to identify the face from this image. Okay. So let us do in a different approach. Okay. The face analysis. That approach will be a bit complicated than this approach. Okay. So you should. That is a critical approach, but we need to follow it. In that approach, we need to install certain libraries. Okay. The one library is pip install Boto3. The second library is pip install AWS CLI. So these two libraries has to be installed in order to get the API of AWS working on your laptop. So let us install this. pip install Boto3. So it is in my laptop. It is saying that it's already there. Okay, it's already there. Pip install Boto3. You need to install this, and also you need to install pip install AWS CLI. Pip install AWS CLI. This has to be installed. So you need to install Boto3 and AWS CLI. So these are the two built-in libraries in Python, to access the AWS APIs and all. You need to install Boto3 library, and also you need to install AWS CLI library. So it is saying it's already there. Boto library is already there, and also AWS CLI is also there in my laptop. In your laptop, it will try to get downloaded and installed. Okay, on Python 3. So make sure that you have Python 3. Okay. Okay. So AWS CLI is installed, and also Boto3 is also installed on my laptop now on the Anaconda prompt. So we need to configure our command prompt, or we need to configure our command prompt. To access AWS through the credentials. Okay, so this is what we have to do. We need to configure our command prompt. Let us configure our command prompt. The command is AWS space configure. So when you run this command AWS space configure, you need to run a command called AWS space configure. So enter on command prompt. Then it will ask you to enter what is your access key ID. So you need to copy the access key ID. So the access key ID is there in the credentials. So we need to copy the access key ID, and it is asking access secret key. So access secret key is also there in the credentials page. So you can copy paste here. And region by default EU-West-1 is the default region. The output format none. No need to enter anything here. So you can press enter directly. So this is what we have to do. We need to configure the command prompt. We need to configure the command prompt by entering access key ID, secret access key, and also region as EU-West-1, and output format is none. So here, after configuring your AWS on your command prompt, we need to write a program. So let us write a different program now. Notepad space underscore comparison.py. So let us write a different program, and this program will be a bit complicated than the previous program which we wrote for face comparison. There is some mistake in the images there, so it is not getting compared in the API in that logic. Let us try with this logic whether it will compare or not. Let's check it out. Enter. Now let us write a program, something like you need to import a package called Boto3. So Boto3 is an official AWS library, and then you need to import time. Time has to be imported, and then you have to create a client object. You need to create a client object. So the syntax will be like client equal to Boto3 dot client of which service you want to access. So we wanted to access a service called recognition from AWS. So that is why you need to pass REKOGNITION there as an argument. And then you need to talk about what is the source image that you wanted to send to AWS. So image open equal to open of mod1.jpg in terms of RB, right? So read binary. RB stands for read binary. So the target image, let the target image be open modi2.jpg, comma RB. So let us take another target image one equal to open. Let's take Trump image here, Trump1.jpg, comma RB. So here we are taking three files where one is modi1.jpg, second one is modi2.jpg, third one is trump1.jpg. So they are the image files which are available in face folder. You can able to see here in modi1.jpg, modi2.jpg, and trump1.jpg. So these are the files which we are having here and the folder. And we are opening the files with read binary. Okay, RB stands for read binary. And let us write logic to read the API. Response equal to say some response equal to some variable name equal to client dot, and the API is compare underscore faces. So this is a API call. Similarity threshold. So I spoke about similarity threshold, right? Similarity threshold. Let us keep 70. Okay. So it means that the both images should be matched about 70%. Comma source image equal to. So you need to send in dictionary format. Bytes. So you need to send in bytes. Okay. Bytes colon source image. The source image variable which we wrote in the previous line. Dot read. So you need to call dot read. So when you call dot read, so the entire file will be read. The entire bytes will be read. Okay, comma. So you need to pass what is your target image also. So the target image equal to, so dot bracket open bytes. So you need to send in the dictionary format. The target image dot read. So here let us print the response. Okay, let us check the response here. So when I write capital letters, put capital letters, okay, because here similarity threshold S should be capital, okay, T should be capital. Here source image S should be capital, I should be capital, bytes B should be capital. Okay, so here source image. So this source image variable is a variable which you wrote here. Okay, so here it is not necessary to keep S capital, but here it is an argument name. Okay, argument name should be capital. Okay, it is based on the API. So the target image. Okay, let us run the program. Let us run this program on this shell python space underscore comparison.py. Okay, so let us understand what it is printing there. Yeah, we got the response here. We got the source image face, bounding box, width, height, left, top, and all. Confidence in the source image is 99.9%. Says that it is face. Face matches. Similarity 99.6. We have passed source image as source image dot read, and target image is also target image dot read. So here target image. What is target image? Target image is nothing but modi2.jpg. What is source image here? We have passed source image. Source image is modi1.jpg. So that is why the confidence value in the similarity in the face matches variable, if you look at the similarity is 99.6, which means that the faces are matched about 99.6%. And here look at the variable called unmatched faces, which means that the unmatched faces is empty, which means that the faces are matched. Okay, the unmatched faces are empty, which means that the faces are matched, because in the faces matched the similarity is 99.6. So let us pass a Trump image here. The Trump image is stored in a variable called target image 1. So here in the target image, let us pass target image 1. Okay, let us pass target image 1. Control S, hit enter. So let us run the program. Now the face matches should be empty. Okay, now the face matches, see here the difference. The face matches is empty. Okay, it means that the faces are not matched. If the faces are matched, then unmatched faces will be empty. So that will be the logic. If unmatched faces are empty, it means the faces are matched. If the face matches is empty, if this variable is empty, then it means that the faces are matched. The faces are not matched. Okay. So the syntax will be like, if face matches is empty, then faces are not matched. If it is holding some data, then faces are matched. Okay, so based on this logic, we have to write a if statement here to compare the data. So let's jump into the logic. So let's take some face flag equal to 0. So some variable equal to 0. For face match, so some iterative variable in response of face matches. If face matches is holding some data, which means that this for loop will be iterated. This for loop will be iterated when face matches is holding some data. Then we can say face flag is 1. You can make the flag value as 1, which means that faces have been identified. So here we can write if face flag value is still 0. It will be still 0 when faces is not matched. Okay, we can have a print statement. Face is not matched. Okay, and in the else logic we can make we can say that print face is matched. So let us comment the print response. Okay, so let us call the function. Let us execute the program. So here we have given mode image and trump image. Okay, we have given mode image and trump image. So it should say that face is not matched. Okay, let us pass modi 1 and modi 2, which is nothing but source image as source image dot read, and by target images instead of target image 1. So let us pass target image. Okay, so let us pass target image. So let us see. So now the target image is also modi image, and the source image is also modi image here. So it should say face is matched. Yeah, we got the output saying that face is matched. So here the target image, if the target image, so the target image is target image here. So target image is nothing but modi 2, and source image is nothing but source image dot read. So source image is nothing but modi 1 dot apg. So we are not changing the source image because source image is always a reference image, and the targeted image we are changing the targeted image sometimes to modi, sometimes to trump, based on the variables that are assigned here. So here the variable assigned with modi 2 is target image, and the variable assigned to trump 1 is target image 1. So when you put target image dot read, then it is reading modi 2 image. So when you put target 1 image 1 dot read, then it is reading trump image here. So when you put target image dot read, so it is saying that face is matched. So here you can able to check here, face is matched. So when you put target image 1 instead of target image dot read, if you put target image 1, because target image 1 is modi trump image here, source image is modi image, and target image is trump image. So it should print face is not matched according to the syntax. Okay, so this is a API and a single line we did it. So this is the API, client underscore compare underscore faces. So the compare underscore faces is an API of AWS in order to compare the images there. So the similarity threshold is 70, but here in the comparison of modi 1 and modi 2, it is showing 99.97% as same. So that is the probability, the predictive index which is getting from the API. So here it is 70. So since it is 90 is greater than 70, then it is able to display the response there. Okay. So any queries in this program, you can ask me. Okay. I'll copy this program into the chat. Okay. So this is a simple logic where you have to understand. You have to import photo3, you have to import time library, you need to create a client object, you need to open the reference image, sample image, reference image, and then the targeted images here. So you're opening the image in read binary format. So this is a file objects. Okay, these are the file pointers, and using this file pointers we are reading the data. Dot read in the sense it reads the complete data from the file. So all the pixels will be read in terms of bytes. That bytes will be it will be sent to the API for comparison. and immediately the API is returning some response. That response we are storing in a response variable, and we are printing the response to check what is happening there. And we understood that okay, when face is matched, face matches variable is holding some data. So then immediately we wrote some for loop here saying that if this for loop is iteratable, it means that it is holding some data. Okay, it is holding some data. So when it is holding some data, which means that your faces are matched, so immediately I'm making the face flag as 1. So if the face are not matched, this face matches will be empty. So when it is empty, the for loop will not iterate there. Then immediately face flag value will become 0 by default. So face is not matched. This is the output statement which is printing on the command shell. So this is a face comparison API, the output of face comparison API. So this is the API reference. Okay. Compare underscore faces. So compare underscore faces is the API which we have used just now for the comparison of faces. Let us take the AWS SDK for Python. So here we are having compare underscore faces. Okay, so it is able to identify the the comparative similarity threshold value between the faces which has been passed. So next, let us have an object identification. Object identification, the function call is detect underscore labels. So detect underscore labels is a function call, which is an API call, which is available here in Python, Python API SDK of AWS. So let us have this. Okay, so image should be passed in terms of dictionary. So here also in the face API, we are passing the image through in a dictionary format, right? So in a dictionary format also. So let us create a new file for doing object detection. So let us create a file notepad space object underscore detect.py. So some file name. And here also you have to import, and here also you have to import Boto3 library. Here also have to import Boto3 library and import time. Let us create a client object. So in the previous program also we followed the same syntax, right, to create a client object. The client equal to Boto3 dot client of recognition. That is a service which is we are using now. After creating client object, you need to understand what is the source image that you want to pass for this object detection case. Okay, so source image equal to open up. Okay, open up, say mode1.jpg. Okay, say this is the image that you want to check for object detection, comma RB, which is nothing but read binary, and then you have to take the response variable, which is a return variable for the API. So here we are having a function called detect underscore labels. So we have to use the same API here. Client dot detect underscore labels. Labels are. We need to pass an image. Okay, we need to pass an image, a variable called, the argument name is image here. So let us take the same name. Okay, let us take the same name, image equal to let us take the image equal to bracket open bytes. So nothing should be in bytes data format here, and source image dot read. So let us pass this. Let us print the response here. Okay, let us print the response. Python space object underscore detect. So here you can able to see the labels which have been identified from the image. So what is the object? What is the targeted? There is no targeted image here. The only one image is source image. So source image we are passing through a dictionary format to detect underscore labels. Then here when you look at response, as we are passing modi1.jpg, as we are passing modi1.jpg. So in the labels you can able to see face is identified with a confidence of 99.71%. Okay, and human. So human is also identified as 99.71%. Person is also identified with 99.71%. Okay, which means that so let us follow all the labels here. So what is the syntax and labels, right? So let us access them through labels. Okay, for in response of labels, for in response of labels, say print out. So let us save this file. Let us run the program. Okay, let us write a of name to have the label names. Okay, so here, so these are the labels which have been extracted. So let us put hash for printf response. Okay, so here I wrote a for loop to identify what are the names of the objects which have been identified from the image. So when I call through a for loop, when I'm printing the label name here, I of name. So it is printing human, person, face, beard, head, man, Instagram, photo, portrait, photography. So these are the different types of labels which have been identified when you pass an image of Modi. So it means that human is having most probability index here. So I can write, uh, you know, I can write break here. So if I run this, it will print only human, a person. Person is identified, which means that this is having highest probability. Okay, person has been identified because we are passing modi1.jpg. Okay, so let us take some shoe. Okay, let us take some shoe image. Okay, let us save this image in the same folder as shoe. So let us pass this image. Okay, let us pass this image. What is the name of the image? So this is for you. So let us run this program. So it is saying that it is apparent. So let us identify what are the other labels which have been printed there by implementing the break statement. So you can able to see the different labels here. One is called footwear, shoe, clothing, apparel, running shoe, sneaker. So these are the classes or labels which have been identified when I'm passing shoe image here. Okay. So which means that the image has been classified and into different classes here, and it is predicting that the past image can be a shoe or can be a footwear or can be belongs to clothing or it can be belongs to apparel. It can be a running shoe or it can be a sneaker. So this is what it is predicting there when you pass an image through the API. Okay, so let us take one more image for you to understand. So let us take an animal image, something like so let's have a butterfly image. let us take a butterfly image. So let us save this. Let us save this into the same folder. So let's keep butterfly. So let us pass this image name to the API. And let us understand what it is predicting there. So by using this API, we are passing the image, butterfly image. You can able to see insect, butterfly, invertebrate, animal, monarch, and all. So it is trying to identify what can be the object which is there in the image target. So which is passed as an argument here for the detect underscore labels. So this detect underscore labels is the API which has been calling the Amazon API recognition, and that Amazon recognition ANN algorithm is being deployed, and this image will send as a test image to the algorithm, and the algorithm is trying to predict what is there on the image target based on the feature extraction, based on the color extraction, based on the size extraction. The output it is returning there. That output it is getting stored in response, and from response we are extracting the labels, and from labels we're extracting the name of the class, and we are just printing the name of the class so that you can understand better than printing all the other dimensions. Okay, so this is the output of second case, where I will copy this program into the chat. Okay, so that's the end of the session. If any queries, you can post in the chat, or you can put me in the WhatsApp group also. If you practice, you'll understand. In this approach, we have installed a library called Boto3, and AWS CLI, and we have used a command called AWS space configure. So this is a command which is used to configure the SDK, which is used to configure the SDK with your AWS credentials. It will ask you to enter what is the data center region. So data center region, when it is Ireland, it is always EU-West-1. It will ask you to enter your access key. So you need to copy paste the access key, and then it will ask you to enter the secret access key. You need to copy paste the secret access key from the credentials document, and then output format should be none. So when you hit none, then you can able to access the recognition service by using this program. So this program is connected with the credentials which is configured at AWS configure method. Okay, so altogether this credentials which has been configured and this API altogether will be sent to the recognition service of AWS, and it will try to read the image targets, okay, based on the API. So here we are using an API called detect underscore labels. In face recognition, we are using compare underscore faces. Okay, so there we are using compare underscore faces API. So by using this API, we are just reading all the data which has been printed, which has been extracted out from the cloud using the API. So that's the end of the session. Thank you for joining us.